Hello everyone and welcome back to Retro Game Hall. We are back again. My buddy Link, my pal Tony is back to join me in just unveiling. I mean, dude, how much
we have
awesome.
A crazy amount today.
We have a shitload of awesome.
We're doing things in small increments because we have so much stuff today.
Yes. Children, if you're watching this, get your parents' permission to watch the rest of the video because there's so much awesome that we're going to lay on you guys today. It's just, your head's going to explode.
You may need to sit down right now if you're standing up next to a friend watching this video.
Yes, because
Take a seat.
He might explode, and we don't want anyone getting hurt.
No one's trying to spontaneously combust right now.
No.
No.
So, what do you say we get into this, man?
Definitely.
Alright, let's do it. Okay, so first up, we've got my only NES card, just loose NES card for the month. We have Werewolf, The Last Warrior. Never played this game, but I've heard it's kind of semi-notorious for being not so great. Which would surprise me, actually, because it's a Data East game, and they normally make pretty good stuff.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
However, I've heard opposite. I've heard there are some that don't like it, some that are, like, way into it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Honestly, I just bought it because A, it was cheap, and it's got a really bright yellow label, which is kind of unusual for an NES card, so we'll see how it goes.
You know,
right?
it is unusual.
It is unusual. Next, we'll get into some NES Complete in Box. First, we got another edition for the Konami collection. We got Double Dribble. Definitely one of the better basketball games for the NES, for sure. Konami really did sports games right. You know, between games like this and Blades of Steel.
Oh, yeah,
Blades best hockey game ever made for a Nintendo system.
Oh, God. I still have my Blades of Steel.
It's such a great game.
I completed the box altogether. For,
did you really?
I want to say $3.
Nice.
$3 I completed the box.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Double Dribble is no exception to Konami's streak of sports hits. I mean, like the slow-mo dunks and everything like that, and the fact that you can take on your buddy.
Oh, yeah, that part's cool. I love that it's two-player.
Yeah, absolutely. This was kind of like what tied us over until NBA Jam came out, which kind of redefined basketball games.
Especially for those who were into the sports games earlier.
Definitely. So, looking forward to checking this one out and playing this one with some buddies. Next up, we've got one from the other company who is really kick-ass at sports games on the NES, Jalico and Bases Loaded, my personal favorite baseball game on any NES,
really?
any NES cart. I mean, Bases Loaded 2, Bases Loaded 3, you know, I mean, those are obviously improvements, but this series, bar none, my favorite baseball series.
It is, honestly, in my opinion, too, the best baseball series game.
I mean, it was just a fun game, it was easy to play, like, you could just pick it up and play it with your buddies, the learning curve is really shallow. It's just a really, really fun game. It's really cool to have it, and it's really
it's in like an amazing box. There seem to be no dents whatsoever, no creases.
And real voices and sounds.
Yeah.
With a free Wilson Sports poster.
Oh, look, you got one with a poster.
I do. So, you can't go wrong with that, right?
Now, this is cool, guys.
This is definitely awesome. I think this is unilaterally agreed upon by anyone who collects Super Nintendo games that this is by far the coolest fucking Super Nintendo box.
You're never gonna find a cooler box than the RoboCop v Terminator box.
It really is. I mean, it may look like it's paper, guys, but this is actually plastic. It's paper on the back, you know, to give you all the artwork and stuff, but I've never seen any other SNES box that comes anywhere close to this as far as the awesome factor.
You know what the best part about this is?
What's that?
The case itself is a dust cover.
It is. I didn't think of that. Because it basically acts as a dust. Yeah, you're right, it is.
This game keeps itself clean.
It does. So now I just need to get the game. I just got a really good deal on the box. Usually whenever I can get a good deal on a box, and it's one I don't have, I'll usually jump on it because, you know, you'll never know when you'll see a better deal.
Yeah.
So why not, right?
Oh, I'm jealous of him.
This one just kind of came across it from our friends at East Starwind. This is a sealed hang tab.
Look at that.
Complete.
Factory sealed.
Factory sealed. They actually had a stack of these at East Starwind of Space Invaders. So obviously I'm not going to open it, but I do have the loose carts. I don't really need to. But just old school classic Space Invaders. You know, the way you remembered on Atari, but it's got a versus mode.
Yeah, versus mode. Bonus versus mode. That's cool.
It is.
2-player.
You can go, let's see, fabulous versus 2-player head-to-head mode. You can try the original mode or in 1 or 2-player arcade fashion. And you can change the screen up to 4 different ways.
Now, can you do player versus player?
It is.
No, like I mean player versus Space Invader as other players. You control
I don't think you can.
Release of the mothership, you control how fast they move, that sort of thing.
That would be fun if you could, but I think this is just two competing ships and you're competing for points.
Gotcha.
So, but that's always fun.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
just another added layer to Space Invaders. So good
Gotta
shit.
compete against your friends.
So next up, we've got a NES Max, just a loose box. It does have the manual with it. I've actually already got one of these over there. You guys have seen that in a previous episode of Retro Game Haul. But whenever I can get a loose box, especially a good condition one like this for just a few bucks, I'll pick one up. I mean, it's always a good idea. It might come in handy in a trade. Since I traded with guys like Tony, if they don't have something and we just come up to a mutual agreement and just swap items, I'm always down for trading. I would much rather trade with a collector than I would buy something.
Oh, definitely.
So, especially if I can help a guy out. If he's looking for something, he's got something I want, I'd much rather get my goods that
it'll
way.
go to a good home both ways.
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely. I'm always happy to trade with guys like Tony because I know anything that I give him, he will treat it the same way that I would treat it.
Oh yeah, I don't let people touch my video game stuff. Except for me.
Nobody.
I'm the only one who knows what's in there and what can be put on top and beneath it.
Yes. I mean, he won't even let me touch it, so he's very secretive about that stuff. So next up, we got a couple complete in box Game Boy Advance games. We got a double card of Gauntlet and Rampart.
Really want that game.
Yeah,
the
man.
Gauntlet Rampart
Dude, Gauntlet
one.
is the shit.
I remember this coming out and wanted it real bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I never actually got it.
You can't really go wrong with Gauntlet, man.
I was just going to buy it online.
Yeah. I think these two, let's see, that one was McKay's. This one was a Goodwill score, I think. This is like $4. This one, it seems, is still factory sealed.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
$2 or $3, I think, at a Goodwill. It's Connect 4, Trouble, and Perfection. So 3 different board games, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So, good stuff, man.
Carry it around, play it when you're bored.
Oh, Road Trip. This is a Road Trip game.
Yeah,
definitely. So you can play with the other people hanging out in the back of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Good shit. Next up, just a loose box. The Game Boy camera.
I always thought these were cool.
They are, man. They
had
were
a
just
printout thing for like taking pictures of like Pokemon games.
I know.
Like screenshots, pictures of yourself. It was always cool.
This is kind of when digital cameras were just kind of getting their
arrived.
start. Like, I mean, now we take it for granted. Everyone's got a digital camera on their cell phone. And it's way smaller. You don't have to print out pictures. People giving up on that. But when this came out, basically just a cartridge that goes in your Game Boy that is a camera. That was, like, unbelievable.
Like, what?
I mean, that was ridiculous.
Like, no one had that technology right then.
So, I mean, that kind of blew kids' minds when that came out. And the fact that they had the printer that you could hook up, you could draw funny faces on yourself.
I used to beg my mom for one of those, and I never got one.
Yeah. And now you can get them.
Now I can
because you're a grown-up and you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
So, next up, we've got the only book this particular go-around. This is definitely a series that I've just kind of come to collect. I've got both of the books in the TurboGrafx series. I've got a couple in the Nintendo series. This is the Game Player's Encyclopedia of Game Boy Games.
These are cool guides. These are very cool guides.
And they also have, it's not just text, you've actually got pictures.
And it'll show you like various things, maps, what to do, where to go.
Yeah.
It's really helpful too because it'll show you the exact location on those 8-bit games. It's way harder to actually know where you're going, especially with that 4-way directional button pad.
It really is. So you get little hints and stuff in here, just little tips and tricks. And
it's not always a full giveaway.
No, it's not.
So a lot of times you still get to experience the game.
Definitely.
Completely.
And there wasn't a lot of stuff like this for the Game Boy, for the original Game Boy at least.
Oh yeah.
So little curiosities like this are always welcome if you can pick them up for just a couple of bucks. Next up, we got an N64 complete in box. We got Turok Rage Wars.
You gotta love Turok.
You mean you play this game, you're like immediately pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. So, and Turok, as I've stated before, my favorite gun in any first-person shooter, the Doomsday Cannon. That's got to be the coolest gun ever made. I mean, it's a gun that shoots a nuke, and the way they did it, in all its 64-bit polygon, tackiness, it's still awesome.
It's still cool.
It's still cool.
And I love Turok.
Yeah, Turok's fun, dude. I mean, it's one of those games.
Honestly, didn't like the PS3 one for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I dug it for the Xbox.
I liked it, but for some reason it didn't hold true to me enough.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it was because the graphics and the movement system was too updated. I was more used to playing on like a more skill-based level.
Could be.
But I love the graphics themselves. Yeah. I love the fighting style. But honestly, I prefer these older Turok games. That's why I play my N64 Turok over my PS3 Turok.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with the old Turok games. They're just fun.
No way. No.
Good stuff. So next up, we've got a trade that I got from my good friend Tommy. If you're watching, I traded him a spare copy of Star Tropics, I believe.
Hi, Tommy.
Complete in box. Hi, Tommy. And he gave me Diddy Kong Racing, complete in box, which I did not have.
Awesome.
And of course,
job,
he's
man.
a collector, so it's in good shape. And Diddy Kong Racing, good stuff. I mean, it was kind of like the game that filled in the blanks for Mario Kart.
Exactly.
So it's definitely Mario Kart-ish. But it's got its own flavor.
Right.
So they definitely do their own thing, and its own little bit of zaniness. Not to mention, dude, it's rare.
It is rare.
Company,
it is rare.
And it's a racing game.
And
have they made another racing game besides this?
No.
So
Banjo-Kazooie. Don't they have
game?
a Banjo-Kazooie racing game?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they have a Banjo-Kazooie racing game.
Maybe Banjo's in this?
Maybe Banjo's in this.
Yes. I don't know. Any of you guys out there collecting, leave us a comment.
Yeah, leave us a comment.
This is the only one I've ever seen. So next we've got my only standard PS1 game here. We have Deathtrap Dungeon. I remember owning this one when I got my PlayStation. I always felt it was a very, very undercredited game. It's from Eidos, the same people who make Tomb Raider. And it's just a really kind of fun, just single player, 3D dungeon crawler. Where you're getting in the thick of shit, killing giant spiders and...
See, I've never played this one.
It's really fun, actually. It really is.
Okay.
It's one of those unique kind of little gems.
Excellent. I'll have to check that out.
Yes, and it's got a really cool tagline too. Organ donors have not always been volunteers. So yeah,
you gotta love that.
It's cool stuff, man. I mean, it's for only a few bucks you can get a really decent PS1 game, and I like dungeon crawlers, so good stuff. Definitely pick this one up. So next up, we've got a PlayStation long box. These are definitely getting tougher to find.
Oh yeah, the long boxes were way cool. It came like right after the Sega CD was getting big, and they made their long boxes.
Yep.
PlayStation tried to emulate that, and then just decided to go with the CDs.
Yep.
I've always loved the long box. Like I told you, I recently got Resident Evil 1 long box edition. Only thing that's missing is the manual. $7.
That's awesome. I'm very jealous.
Oh yeah.
I wish this game were that cool, but it's not. This is Magic Carpet, which a lot of people made a big deal out of when it came out. It was kind of revolutionary, being able to fly around, the way the textures move and everything like that. But in retrospect, it's not really that great of a game. I think I only paid $2 or $3 for it. I just love...
that's not bad for a long box game. That's not bad at all.
I love collecting long box games. They're so fun and so neat and stuff, and they're definitely continuing to rise in price.
Oh yeah.
And definitely getting a lot harder to find. So if you're a PlayStation collector like us, if you find a cheap long box, doesn't matter what it is, just go ahead and get it. Okay, so next up we got a couple PS2 games. We'll start out with one that I do not know much about. Goodwill Score for $2.99. Complete, manual and everything like that. Usually if it's a game I don't have and I can score it at a Goodwill or something for a cheap price, I'll usually get it.
Definitely.
It's called Fur Fighters, Vigo's Revenge. And from the looks of it, it's kind of like this zany little kind of cartoon, shoot 'em up kind of brawlers type thing. I mean,
it looks like some sort of like a third person brawling type game, and then when you split screen, you're all third person.
Yeah, it's got 4-player multiplayer. Yeah, of course you have to use the multi-tap, but. Yeah, it almost kind of reminds me of the Bad Teddy Bear game.
Yeah.
That they put out for the Xbox.
I remember that.
They're kind of like this, but
I mean, it's made by Acclaim.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll give it a little bit of credit.
And it's rated. It's teen.
It's teen, so you know it's going to be a bit better than an E-fighting game where it's just running around and punching little.
It seems to me like the characters in the game, they're all stuffed animals.
Yeah, I see that, and they seem to be like some sort of like sewn together stuffed animal of some sort, like they've already been war torn.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I'm actually looking forward to playing
it does.
This. So for $2.99 and a Goodwill score, definitely a solid score.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Especially for a complete box.
Yes. So next up we've got one called Malice. I don't know much about it. It was $1, as you can see on the price tag there, at my local McKay's store. It's definitely some kind of RPG game from what I can tell. Let's see, 29 levels. Looks like it's got some dungeon crawling to it. Regain her. Yeah, it's some kind of. You're powering up this chick.
Yeah, you're. It seems you use magic.
Oh,
you're a girl with 8 different magic types.
And she wants to exact revenge on a head-eating dog god.
Oh, wow.
That alone sounds kind of awesome.
It does. Look at its body. Its torso is a mouth.
Yeah.
And as is its mouth.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
could be interesting.
Little weird games like this, especially if you can get them for a couple bucks. The PlayStation 2 is literally full of games like this.
Really, it is. And a lot of them are hidden gems.
They are. So, if, it's the game, we're going to kind of take the Andrew Zimmerman approach, the guy who does Bizarre Foods. If it looks cool, buy it and play it. So next we got a trio of original Xbox games. First we got a game called Whacked. The tagline, game show gone wrong.
Know nothing about it.
I don't know anything about it either. It looks really fun. It's, again, a teen-rated game. This kind of looks like a party game because you're each these like zany little players on a game show, and it's almost like it turns into like the Running Man. Where
interesting.
You gotta
I
play
see
against
that.
each other.
Yeah, I see that.
It even had Xbox Live support when it came out, which is
kind of wow, that's cool.
So this looks kind of fun. You got little trivias and little mini games and stuff like that, and you play against your buddies. And I'm always down for picking up party games.
Yeah, you gotta have party games for when you got your buddies coming over to do a game
Absolutely,
night.
I absolutely love games like this. And the Xbox, the original Xbox in particular, I fucking honey hole of these things. Between things like Fusion Frenzy, Kung Fu Chaos, all those games. There's a ton of games like this.
Yes.
The original Xbox. They were kind of champions of the party game. So if you are into that kind of thing, man, you just invite your buddies over for a party game, definitely look into the original Xbox. It's a treasure trove of little gems like that. Next up, we got a game I don't really know a whole lot about called Steak Fortune Fighters. It's a 4-player kind of, I guess Hugh said it best. Looks kind of like Dynasty Warriors.
It looks like Dynasty Warriors, honestly. Like if you're playing single player mode, anyways.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks like maybe you're on a team with the people you're facing off, or you're playing with, or facing off against the team or them individually.
Yeah, and you can do. It's got deathmatch modes and all the normal stuff. So. Again, 4-player, good party game stuff. Again, the Xbox is full of stuff like this.
And things like this are always cool, like actual bash 'em up, smash 'em up, run around, free roaming fighting games.
I love games.
That's always cool, especially for partying with your friends.
Definitely. So next we got a pair of cleaning kits. This one is for the Sega Genesis. This is the Naki
My favorite
Eliminator.
System.
Yes.
Second favorite. My first is Dreamcast.
Okay, good choice. Sega Genesis, the Naki Eliminator Cleaning Kit. I think I've got one of these for the NES. And then we've got the Pelican Cleaning Kit for the Nintendo 64. I started out just loving the regular, original factory cleaning kits, but I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about these things that I like.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're just kind of neat to collect
They
because
really
they're
are.
so strange.
And some of them are really good brands, like Pelican. Pelican's a good brand for add-ons for your devices.
Definitely. So, if you like cleaning kits like these, definitely go ahead and pick these up. It's really easy to get these sealed in the original kind of bubble wrap type stuff.
They almost always do that.
Yeah, so jump on them. So, last but certainly not least, we've got my Wii System Box. Little collector's tip for you guys. The Wii System Boxes are exceptionally cheap right now, mainly because they made so damn many of these things.
There's a lot of them out there.
There really are.
And lots of different kinds.
There's a wide variety of stuff. This one in particular is the new Super Mario Brothers version, the black Wii, which by the way is sitting right behind the camera. But I mean, there's the Wii Fit version, there's the white one, there's the red one, there's the light blue one. There's several versions of the black one. There's a lot of different bundles for this. There's the Mario Kart one. I mean, there's literally tons of these things.
It's crazy, and you might as well jump on all of them now.
Absolutely, because they're not really going to get any cheaper than they are right now. So, if you're a Nintendo collector like we are, and you've got little extra
Seriously, you got $100, don't spend it on an old game. Go out and buy every Wii box that is available.
Yeah, just go kill it, and work on the systems later. So, next up, we're actually going to do something really special. Tony, this is actually my gift to you. We've been talking about this the whole night, and actually a few minutes ago, Tony had said that he wanted to buy these off me, and I almost bursted his bubble and said I was going to give them to you anyway. So, Tony, since I wanted to get you started in your cleaning kit collection, buddy, these two are for you.
What?
We've got the NES, what I call the Red Banner Cleaning Kit, and we got the Red Banner Mario Cleaning Kit. I've always got extras, so it's
oh my god, dude.
And not to be excluded by this little cool, what's called a trophy statue. We used to rate your score on these things.
What?
Original NES
Look at this man.
So,
are you listening to this man right now?
He's
Have you subscribed yet? Have you liked?
I hope so.
You better.
I mean,
do it right now.
So
pause, log in,
subscribe.
like, subscribe, keep watching.
Well, thank you. Tony is going away to California actually, so it's going to be a while before I get to see him again. So
It's true.
I thought I would send him over there with some parting gifts, courtesy of Retro Game.
Oh, give me a hug, man.
All right, man. It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Just one collector to another, man.
Oh, yes.
I know these will go to a good home, so
Definitely.
this will get you started.
Honestly,
on your Cleaning Kit
I'm going to be using one of them.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll just take care of it.
I will, definitely.
And make sure you put this on your shelf somewhere.
Oh,
in your NES
for
section.
sure.
Yeah.
It's going next to my N64 sign.
Nice. So good stuff, man. So now you've got to start your Cleaning Kit collection. You got the 2 NES ones. So.
Thank you so much.
Sure, man. My pleasure. So that about wraps it up. I want to give a very, very special and very bittersweet thank you to my excellent friend Tony over here for being my one and only guest, for not only joining me last time Retro Game Hall, for joining me this time. Tony, man, the West Coast is getting one of the coolest motherfuckers out there.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
They will love you.
I hope so. Not to be pompous, but I'm going to bring the classic game collecting big over there.
And
I'm gonna start it up
jealous,
over there.
dude. I've heard that the selection out there is way better than it is over here.
And not only that,
So.
I may even try to start my own store.
Well, good luck to you, man. Thank you very much.
Of course, Jimbo.
For being a part.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Game.
so gracious that you've had
That's
me
all
as
you
a
do,
guest.
man. No,
I am. I don't do handshakes. I believe
He's
hugs
all
are
you do.
available to every human, regardless of who they are.
Can you argue with that?
Come on now, everyone needs a hug.
Yes. So thank you very much for coming on the show, man, hanging out with me here, just helping me get through the piles of awesome here. Hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I'll be back around Christmas time. Maybe we can do a Christmas edition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we'll have a lot
And
more
thank
shit.
you for the cleaning kits.
My pleasure, man. I hope you like them.
Oh, yes. I love them.
All right. I'm glad. All right. Well, thanks everyone so much for watching, and to all my fellow gamers, retro or not,
Keep watching Retro Game Hall, guys. I don't know what it is.
game on.
Game on.